What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Set Apart Last, man, checking in with you guys. Just wanted to get on here and tell you about my experience in trucking. As you can see, I'm still with the company that hired me. CREngland. It's been about 9 months in now that I've been with this company. It's been fairly well with me. I haven't had any problems or anything like that. It's the company that hired me on, seeing that I am an ex-felon. Basically, I got into this career because I didn't want any bosses over my shoulder any longer, and I had a talk with a good friend of mine that's been trucking for about 15 years, and he told me that it was a good career and that I could make some good money in it. So I wanted to get into something that I could be proud of and something that I could make my kids proud of, as well. So basically, and then after talking with him, I spoke with another friend and I asked him about, have you ever thought about trucking? And he actually told me that, yeah, he thought about it, and he actually has been studying his CDL book, to pass the permit. So I figured I'd make me some short-term goals to accomplish this goal of trucking. And one of them was going to get the CDL book and studying and really taking the time out, to learn about the big rig and the pre-trip and things of that nature. So I studied. I was serious about it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos and saw a lot of YouTube truckers out there that were actually doing it, actually being helpful with what you would have to do, the things that you would have to have, and, the pros and the cons of being out on this road, And I took it to heart, knowing that I would have to leave my family for a short period of time and be away from the house and not be impactful as I want to be inside the life to make this transition to accomplish this goal. So I started studying day and night, watching videos, just really on it tough. And I went to take the permit test. I failed miserably. I thought I had it in the bag. I thought it wasn't going to be nothing, but went in there, failed, and that just made me go out and go a little bit harder, watch more videos and look at the book a little bit harder, and I was very, very serious and adamant about getting that permit. I wanted to go a different route. At the second time I went in there and got my permit, I mean, flat out, hands down, wiped the floor with the test. I was very serious. And the second time was a lot easier for me because I really went over all the questions that they were asking in the on the test. So from then I heard about that it was a way that you can actually get around having to go to a trucking school and have to pay out of pocket. Well, I exhausted all of those options, and it wasn't working out the way that I wanted to, because I wanted to work faster for me, because I wanted to get from the job that I was at immediately. So after weeks and weeks of going to different places and trying to find out the system that I had to go through for the tuition for trucking, I couldn't find anything. Went through a few programs where I'm from in Cleveland, Ohio. Couldn't find anything. So what I began to do is start looking up different trucking companies that have schools and accept felons. So I called all the places that hire felons and that have schools, and they had so many different stipulations. Because I'm an ex-felon, they would ask, what's on your record, this and that, and they would basically see, whether or not you're a good candidate or whatever. So I let them know that I had the gun charge and the drug trafficking charges and everything, but I hadn't been in trouble since 2011 when I got out of prison. And so that's about 7 years, something like that. So from 7 years, a lot of companies was like, no, you got to have 10 years without a 15 years, a lot of stipulations, and they were just turning me down left and right, turning me down. Like, well, just call us back in 2022 and this and that. And I thought my dreams were, I'm talking about just fading away in my face. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like deterring. You know what I'm saying? So I just kept at it. I kept at it, kept calling different companies, talking to different recruiters. They were telling me different things. And seeing that I had been watching videos on YouTube, I saw a lot of people talking down about England. So, of course, they were my, last resort, But I came down to that last resort. So I gave England a call. And I'm like, I told them about my background and everything. I gave them, ran it off, from felonies to misdemeanors and things of that nature. Told them I hadn't been in trouble and I was trying to actually, get into their school. And, so the guy, I told him everything and filled out the application. And he'll give me a call back once he find out whether or not they'll accept me. Well, of course, he called back. And he was like, they're going to accept me. Man, I felt like a weight had been lifted off of me. I felt like it was a blessing, seeing that I'm trying to turn my life around and go in the right direction. And he like, when can you start? I'm like, man, when can you send the ticket? Immediately, for real. You know what I'm saying? So they sent me the ticket. I believe it was in December of 2017. And they sent the ticket. I had to talk with my family and let them know that I was doing it for them, And they got behind me. And I went down there with my permit, went to England with my permit. So they immediately, they put us in the hotel that night. And, the next day we were at the school. And, since I came with my permit, they immediately put me on the backing field. I met a few people there that was, studying and that had their permit as well, and they were trying to actually, learn the pre-trip and things of that nature, whatever you have to do to get that, to accomplish that CDL. So I hung around the people that was really serious. Only the people that was really, because it was some people that wasn't as serious there. But the people that, that came there with me and that was really serious, because it was snowing. And so a lot of people didn't want to get out there while it was snowing to do the pre-trip and everything to, actually go over these parts and look at these parts. I'm talking about we in Burns Harbor, Indiana. So it's the snow belt. It's freezing cold. The wind coming in strong, and people didn't want to stand out there. A lot of people just wanted to sit in the truck, but the people that got out the truck and that was actually going over the pre-trip and doing everything that they were supposed to do, those are the people that I was with. Made some real good relationships and friendships, and did what we were supposed to do on the backing field. For the first week we got there, we was doing the backing, the straight backing, the offset backing, and the parallel backing. Did that. I actually came prepared to do manual driving because I had watched a lot of videos with them. So I was I was actually prepared to learn how to do manual. But when we got to England, all they had was automatic trucks, and that was fine. And so we did the straight back, parallel, offset, and then we did the test run on the road. We learned, the route that they was going to take us on the test run. The next week, we were testing. You know what I'm saying? And this is how serious it was. It was 25 that tested on the day that I tested. 25 people, 25 or 30, and went in there, and they was calling names and like 4 or 5 people at a time, and people were coming in left and right, failing, left and right. Like they just had went outside. Like, man, like what happened? Like I failed on the pre-trip. I failed on the pre-trip. I failed on the pre-trip. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people were failing on the pre-trip. Out of those 25 to 30 people, only 4 people passed that day. And thankfully, thank God, I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Me and a friend of mine who was actually my roommate, because we was serious. Like, we ain't here to play. This is what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? So me and him, we actually passed. We went from that little roachy motel to a less roachier motel. You know what I'm saying? And after we passed and upgraded, and they gave us our CDL, it was one of the most, you know what I'm saying, fulfilling parts of, being there. Making that transition from a roach motel to a less roachier motel. But it felt good. It was a sense of accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? And so from that, we just got our trainers. We went on the road training, which was a great experience. Again, it's the winter time, so it's the best time to actually get that training under your belt, learning, how to maneuver the truck through the ice and the winds and the snow and things of that nature, up the terrain and, up and down mountains and things of that nature. It was beautiful to be able to see this side of the country that I never think I'd see a day in my life was wonderful, man. I never think that I'll see, Southern California, Oregon, Colorado, these different places, these beautiful places, you know, and it was a blessing to me just to be able to experience something like that. I know a lot of people have the issue with England is probably the pay, but I knew in my mind the first thing that was going to be more beneficial to me than pay is experience, because after that the check is going to write itself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people be really trying to make things happen too quick and not even experience anything. You know what I'm saying? But experience is what's going to teach you how to keep it. Experience is going to make sure that you know what you're doing when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm here for most of all. And they gave me the opportunity when a lot of people wouldn't give me an opportunity. When people wouldn't give me the time of day, when they said call back in 2022 and things of that nature, and England said, come on, we'll take you. You know what I'm saying? I knew right then and there, I'd rather have the experience, over anything, because the money is going to come in this industry. You know what I'm saying? As long as I have safe driving and, have no problems out here, the check going to write itself sooner or later. So they started off at 13, 14 cent or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. That's I don't have a problem with that. After training, well, training give you about, I think they train with training, they give you about $500 every week, something like that or whatever. But training was cool. My trainer was cool, an older guy from Nashville, Tennessee, and I don't smoke, so he don't smoke, and we just had a good time. You know what I'm saying? It was just real cool. He let me get all the driving hours that I needed to be in. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to drive all the times, just to learn. Every time we got to a place that we could back up, I wanted to back up. You know what I'm saying? Just to learn, just have that experience. Got done with my training and went on to the other phase where I had a teammate. My teammate was cool. Another guy that I actually studied with, and so we got on the road. It was cool. We went to different places. We was rolling. The tires was rolling. You know what I'm saying? We always kept them tires rolling. So the checks was all right to me. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I was dealing with to where I'm going to now, it was all right with me. The checks was cool, and the miles was there. You know what I'm saying? So we, when I'm driving, he sleep. When I'm sleep, he driving. The wheels kept turning, so we didn't have no problems with miles or anything. I went home after a while, with him. Finally, my first time to go home. I went home. When I came back from home time, I had another teammate, and he was real cool as well. And we rode for a couple of months together, and finally he got a call with a dedicated route with England that paid more money, And I had no clue that, you can actually make more money in your first year while you're here. I only heard about the 13 cents or the 14 cents or whatever the case may be. I had no idea that you can actually make a lot more money on a dedicated route, still getting the miles, and be able to go through your hometown and be home a lot more. So once I discovered that with him, because around this time I had taken train the trainer, because I was trying to become a trainer, because the thing about what a lot of people were saying around here is that you make the most money with training. So I took train the trainer in order to become a trainer. And then I found out about the dedicated route. Okay, so once I found out about the dedicated routes, I started looking for different jobs around here, and I found one that actually go through my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio, and I gave them a call. You know what I'm saying? Well, I filled out the application, and they gave me a call, and they kept calling, they kept calling, they kept calling, until I'm like, all right, yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. And so I called them back, like, how often would I be able to get home? What's the pay like? And they told me that the pay was 40 cents a mile, and you'll be able to get up to 27 to 3,000 miles a week, and you'll be able to get home every other week. Man, that was a blessing to me. That was a big step up for me to be in my first year. That was a big step up, and just to be able to get the experience, the knowledge, to be around people, cool DMs, and all you have to do is ask them for where you want to go, and when you want to get there. This was a good turning point for me. I had the experience of from the snow to the weather cleared up, to see the country and see the mountains and see the beautiful life and everything that's out there. I had fell in love with that scenery just to become a dedicated route. It was hard for me to make that transition, because the scenery out there on the road across the country is beautiful. It's gorgeous, man. And for me to give that up was type hard for me. So I gave it up though, because I needed to be at home a lot more, with my family. So I chose the dedicated route here with Cisco at the dedicated route with England. I haven't had any problems here. Great people, great DMs. Get the trips that I need to go. I haven't had a problem about my paycheck. I'm able to put money into my girl's account, able to pay off my child support, and still have money in my own account, which is great to me. It's great to be able to take care of the family. I don't really need much. You know what I'm saying? All I need to do is really eat and wash my clothes and wash my butt. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is good. I'm good. And I still got money, you know what I'm saying, that's coming in, and everything is good. I don't have a problem. I don't have a bad thing to say about England. Today is actually Driver Appreciation Day. They just catered, food and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So for my first year, my first 9 months here, I haven't had any problems, any issues. I don't go on out here to get what other drivers are getting and count their pockets and say, oh, well, such and such is getting this amount of money, or try to rush the process. The process is going to get me where I need to be. The process is going to teach me everything that I need to know, and it's not going to skip a stage. I need to know all the stages, the bad stages. I need to experience the bad stages so I can know that they the bad stages for myself. I don't need nobody else to tell me that this is the bad stage and you need to do this other stage. I'll learn it. I'll get it for myself. You know what I'm talking about? I get stopped at every truck stop and say, you with England and this and that, and I listen respectfully, and I take in information. Whatever people got, I take it in. I'll learn, as I go. But right now, I need to get the experience for myself. And I know for a fact that after I get the experience, the check is going to write itself. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm out here doing what I need to do, I'm going to fulfill my contract. And who knows? Who knows? But England has been good to me. It's like family. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a felon out there, man, and you got something on your background and you're trying to change your ways and you're trying to, take care of your family and take care of your household, man, don't hesitate to give these truck companies a call, man. And it's a place out there that'll give you a opportunity, man, that'll change your life. And you know, you can actually start to make some money and take care of your family. It's been good for me. You know, so that's all I really have to say, man. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I know it's been 20 minutes or something like that in there, you know. But if you learn anything from me, learn that experience is the key. Experience will get you paid. You know what I'm saying? Keep a cool head. Don't you know what I'm saying? Stress out too much. Get your experience. Learn the game first. Learn what you got to do. You know.